In order to understand our present and ensure our future, we must know our past. To further educate the local community about the importance of rice and the enslaved Africans whose struggles made it possible, Charleston County worked together with the State Historic Preservation Office and the South Carolina Department of Archives to erect an interpretive outdoor panel and a National Historic Marker. Thanks to the preservation efforts of Charleston County and the Transportation Sales Tax Program, the remnants of these inland rice fields around the newly constructed Palmetto Commerce Parkway are being honored and preserved and serve as a tangible reminder of the skill and labor of the enslaved people who constructed them, many of whom had been rice farmers in Africa. Thanks to historical and cultural preservation efforts like these, our local community can learn more about our history as a people.
I'm from the tiny West African country of Gambia, which historically had a strong connection with Charleston, the Low Country more broadly. Rice is very much central to the lives of most West Africans, especially those from the rice coast of West Africa. Rice is a staple diet for people. That's what they eat for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. It's very much part of their identity. They depend on rice as their staple diet. Their cooking is very much similar. The baskets they made, look at them. They're very much similar to West Africa. And the mortar and the pestle they use, the hoes. I forgot to mention the hoes. The hoes are very similar. I mean, I've seen in some books pictorial depictions of the kinds of implements that the Gola used to, the fishing nets. They're very much similar to what you will find among the Mandinga people of West Africa.
Sankofa teaches us that we must go back to our roots in order to move forward. Whatever we have lost, forgotten, forgone, or been stripped of can be reclaimed, revived, preserved, and perpetuated.
The more I started to study about rice, the more I wanted to know about the people that were responsible for creating a 250-year economy, which produced Charleston because of the unbelievable wealth that was accumulated through people that were enslaved, that were highly skilled rice planters, farmers.
This year I learned that the West Africans that came to South Carolina had an advantage over the climate because it was similar to their own, but it didn't make growing rice any easier because it was a tedious process.
We quickly saw the educational relevance and the historical relevance to rice with our students. Everyone had some type of connection with rice and the culture, understanding the students' self-worth and finding things that motivated them intrinsically so they can have some type of empowerment of their history, knowledge of their history, where they live, the impact that their ancestors made on the country.
The biggest part, I think, to learn that the engineering that was required, that Africans that came to America had to set up a whole architectural system, had to know how to build a dam, how to let the waters out low. Matter of fact, they created an irrigation system, which requires math, which requires science.
It was very interesting to find out how it came, knowing that those persons, when you come to think of it, Africans, who were enslaved, you wonder how they got all that talent and all that skill in reference to how it's grown, how it's engineered.
Well, I'm glad to at least be able to know where my ancestors came from, because beyond that point we didn't know, but knowing that connection gives me a view as to who I am and where I came from. And so I think that's a good thing. And knowing that the skills that my ancestors possess in order to be able to grow the rice and do all the things that they did, it makes me proud.
It was African technology that led to the intricate dikes and waterways which transformed the low country marshes along the entire southeast coast into thousands upon thousands of acres of successful rice fields, a feat of land farming perhaps unequaled in human history.